Hi everyone, wonderful to be with you again. My name's Rev Joe K, and I'm the vicar for 10 churches on the outskirts of Scarborough in North Yorkshire. And this is our online service for the third Sunday of Advent, which means we're getting very close to that time when we celebrate the Christmas story. You can see just to my left here, we've got three Advent candles lit, which is fabulous, and again just denotes that journey that we've been making through Advent. Today we're going to think about John the Baptist again and the story of him when he was in prison and the doubts that he was starting to have of whether Jesus really was who he said he was. But to begin our time together, let's sing a wonderful hymn, and it is O Little Town of Bethlehem. It really is a fabulous carol, that one of my absolute favourites. So as I said, today we're looking at John the Baptist. So we're going to hear a bit more of that story now. The text will be on the screen as well, so you can read along as we hear that story of John the Baptist sending his followers to ask Jesus, are you really the one we've been waiting for?
Chapter 11. After Jesus had finished instructing his 12 disciples, he went on from there to teach and preach in the towns of Galilee. When John heard in prison what Christ was doing, he sent his disciples to ask him.
"Are you the one who is to come, or should we expect someone else?"
Jesus replied,
Go back and report to John what you hear and see. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, those who have leprosy are cured, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the good news is preached to the poor. Blessed is the man who does not fall away on account of me.
As John's disciples were leaving, Jesus began to speak to the crowd about John.
What did you go out into the desert to see? A reed swayed by the wind? If not, what did you go out to see? A man dressed in fine clothes? No. Those who wear fine clothes are in kings' palaces. Then what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is the one about whom it is written, I will send my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way before you. I tell you the truth. Among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. Yet, he who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing, and forceful men lay hold of it. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you are willing to accept it, he is the Elijah who was to come. He who has ears, let him hear. To what can I compare this generation?
We'll leave the story there, but he goes on. It's a good one to read, is Matthew 11. The extraordinary thing I find about this particular passage and this particular story is it's not just that John the Baptist is having some doubts and wants to send people to ask Jesus, are you the Messiah? Are you the one we've been waiting for? It's the fact that John knew Jesus so well. He was his cousin. He was brought up knowing Jesus. He was brought up with a mother who knew who Jesus was, who when Mary had gone to meet Elizabeth when Mary was pregnant, the baby leapt in her womb. And Mary and Elizabeth had this conversation. Elizabeth, John's mum, knew who Jesus was, knew what was going on. So John knew who Jesus was all the way through his life. And then before this story, not that long before it, John had actually baptized Jesus and seen heaven open, a dove descend upon him and say, this is my son. And yet here we see John the Baptist having doubts, wanting to check. So, what's going on here? Well, the truth is that John was probably in quite a dark place. He'd been arrested, and there he is in prison, and he's starting to wonder whether he's got it horribly wrong. He's starting to wonder whether he's got this entirely mistaken. It was fine when he was out and about. It was doing all right when he was able to speak to people, to tell people to be ready for Jesus coming. But now he's arrested, is in a cell, and it's not a particularly great place to be. And he's starting to think, hang on, have I messed this up? I need to check that he's actually who I said he was. What this does is gives me great encouragement and empathy with John. When things are fine, it's really easy to go, yeah, God's with me, God's blessing me, I believe this. When things are tough, the questions come. Actually, God, are you who I think you are? Where are you? What's going on? What is this? If you find yourself in a dark place and questioning even whether the existence of God is real, even whether Jesus is who we're told Jesus is, if you find yourself in that place, then don't worry. You are in very good company. So be encouraged today, but also by the words that Jesus spoke. When John the Baptist's followers had come to him and said, are you who you say you are? Are you the one? Because John's starting to have worries. Jesus simply said, go back and tell him everything that you see. It wasn't just words. It was the actions of Jesus that were the proof. People being healed, extraordinary teaching, lives being transformed. So if you, like John and like me at times, are starting to doubt, don't just hear the words of someone like me, but look at the reality of what happens in people's lives, in our lives, when Jesus is at work. We're going to sing one final hymn before we end our time together. And again, it's a really beautiful one and a reflective one. It's a beautiful carol in the bleak midwinter. It's been really fabulous to be with you again this morning. Do look out over the coming days for more services that are happening as we head towards Christmas, including a carol service and then services on Christmas Eve and indeed for Christmas Day as well. Until then, do look after yourselves. God bless you and take care. Bye for now.